So Sarita, have you got anything planned for the summer holidays?
Do you know what? Not really. I've got a young child and I just don't feel like there's not really much to do with him.
Yeah.
So we've just been taking a lot of trips to the park, really, at the moment.
How old is your son?
He's 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. Obviously, I'm a single mum as well.
Yeah.
And I think times like this, like you need money to do things,
Yeah,
to take them out.
Definitely. I do feel like there's, so like sometimes people try to put things in place. Like I know like in Luton Market, they had like a story time kind of thing where the authors come in to tell stories and stuff. But I think it's very limited on so many levels when it comes to young people.
I haven't seen any of that advertised.
Yeah, they don't really advertise it as well as they should.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have put like, considering it's something within the mall, they could have put it around the mall and made like a big deal of it, and that would have then promoted that. Instead, we have elephants, which is great. We
have been going on the elephant journey.
Yeah, the elephants are great.
What's the elephants?
So they're to do with I think
Keach Hospice.
Yeah, Keach Hospice.
Okay.
Yeah, Keach Hospice.
Yeah, I think they're really, really cool as well. Like, because there are different ones. There are ones that represent like music, art. So they're like painted and decorated differently throughout like the town, even down like Berry Park as well. There's like an elephant. There's an elephant.
They're all over Luton.
Little ones, yeah. But yeah. But I feel like because that's been like quite a big thing, I think it's taken away from like promoting things like the story time and stuff. I do feel like as well for like the youth, in terms of like the young people that would come under like Seacole and stuff, there's lack of things to do as well. And
Has anyone heard of Helping Hands? I see something.
Yeah, is that for the homeless?
So
The homeless thing?
Yeah, I saw it on the council website, and I think it's they get like businesses and stuff that fund them for like activities and that for young people. Yeah, but again, I was just looking for a friend, and I found when I went on the website, on the council website, there's not that much on there, but that came up. But again, it's not like being put out there a lot. So I think it's hard for people to find out about it.
Yeah, do you know what I thought it was when you said Helping Hands? I thought you because I met this lady the other day going into work, and they do like community work at the parks and stuff in Luton.
Okay.
And they said that they wanted to work with like Seacole and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool because there were like young people going out and different like people from the community that are actually looking after their community. So I think that's pretty dope for something in the holidays. But in terms of like youth-based things, it's really, really hard.
Difficult.
Like there's no more youth clubs and all that kind of thing.
I looked on TripAdvisor for young people once, and the only thing that's come up is churches and parks, and even, sounds very crazy, but the casino came up, and that's actually when you type in young people.
Oh wow!
Free young for TripAdvisor activities to do. So it kind of goes to show there's really not a lot out there.
Yeah. What about you guys? Like Maya, what have you seen anything come up that's like for the holidays for young people?
The only thing I've seen is that I know someone that's doing like some art projects for the kids. So like that allows the kids to come in to the mall and do like activities to do with art and like jewelry making and all that kind of stuff. But like obviously that's not advertised a lot. But that's the only thing that I've really seen personally.
Where do you guys see this stuff? Because I feel like I look, but I don't see anything.
I literally only know about that because I know the person that runs it personally. Like, other than that, like, you don't really see anything advertised or anything.
Yeah, and I saw the story time thing because I went to the shop in the market and the lady gave me a flyer. Some lady gave me a flyer for it.
Yeah, that's what I think the problem is, because there isn't like a main portal with all the information on that says exactly what's going on in Luton and like the surrounding areas. The information's not getting through to people, so they don't know what's on.
Yeah, it's not all in like one place. Like you have to really search for it, because I feel like a lot of independent people are trying to do something for the youth, but it's not like
or people aren't pushing it so much. And the thing is, I think if you have children, yes, it is your responsibility that your children have things to do, but if there's nothing for them to do, and it's difficult, like we're still in a pandemic as well, so you have to think about like the fact that people have taken losses and stuff like that. It's expensive.
Even things
to
like
survive
farms.
alone.
I went to the farm with my friend's kids, and it's so expensive.
And then you have to transport there as well if you don't drive. That's another thing.
And you got to eat. Like everything.
Even the way they make you come out of the farm, you've got to go through the gift shop. The kids want to buy everything.
Yeah.
And the food at those places is always so expensive. Always so expensive.
They are. You end up spending like £60 or something stupid. That's a lot of money.
Just to go to the farm.
Yeah.
Going to the farm should be free. It's a farm. It's a
even
farm.
even like the local parks and stuff though, like I have a 3.5-year-old and there's been a few times this summer holidays I've had to leave the park with my child because there's people taking drugs and drinking alcohol in the parks.
Oh wow.
And the police are driving past and they're not doing anything about it. There's bottles and paraphernalia all over the park.
Yeah.
And it's just not good.
I think that's why the organisation that I mentioned before are doing what they do, because even like the park, Brantwood Park there, like I think it's such a scenic park. I think it's really beautiful. Like when you actually stand back and look, like it's a really nice park, but it's the people that go into the park, they abuse the space. Like it's not really the nicest thing to see.
You're scared to walk your child through there because what they could do.
I've literally been moved out of areas, like when I was younger we moved to Luton literally because the area that we were in was that like paraphernalia in the area, all of these things going on. So I completely understand when you said like you've had to leave the park.
I've had to leave the park.
That's so unfortunate, don't you think?
But then what I have done is there is in the mall, what they've done is they've put them soft play things out.
Yeah.
My son loves it. It's free.
Yeah.
And he has more fun there than what he would do going to the soft play.
Yeah.
So I think that is good and that is busy. I see a lot of young people in there, like young people with children. Yeah.
Yeah,
like by KFC and those kind of like those kind of quaint areas, isn't it?
I feel like there are activities. I just feel like they're so expensive for parents to have to, especially over the 6 weeks holidays, to continuously take their children out and have to pay for activities. It works out to so much money. So I don't know, maybe there should be like more funded activities, and obviously more that they need to publicise them more so everyone's aware of what's actually going on in the community.
I think that's true. I think that would be more helpful with regards to like people that have children, especially if you're like me, for example. Growing up, it was only really like me, my brother and my sister, but all my other family members, like my auntie, who would take on all of us as well. She had like 6 children plus us. But back then it wasn't so expensive to do certain things, and if you planned, it would work out all right. But now it's just like, can you imagine taking like your 6 children plus like your nephews and nieces out just for the day, let alone like you got 6-week holidays, but just for the day. And there used to be like play schemes and stuff in schools and stuff like that as well.
What I have actually seen online is it's more to school ages. So from 5 to 16, what they have got is like summer camps or summer groups.
So that's not so bad then.
But then I feel like obviously they may be funded, but then the people that are working, they have to pay for those placements.
Yeah.
Which obviously I don't feel like is fair, really.
Yeah, that's true.
But then they do have to get the funding from somewhere to allow the activities and the food and stuff like that to give to the children.
It's true. That's actually so true. The one thing I will say is that I really want to go to like I'm such a big kid. I really want to take my godchildren to this like Nickelodeon world. Like I keep seeing popping up. It's in Lakeside, and I keep seeing people taking their kids there. And the thing that I like about it the most is like the price is like, even though it's a certain price for the kids, for adults it's like half of the price, which is really good because it makes it easier for you to take the child. Because it means you're not paying, because you're not going for you, are you? You're going for the kids, and I think that they've considered that. So things like that is pretty cool. Cause
what they do have is the 2-for-1 tickets as well. I think they help a lot.
Yeah.
So like we plan, it's my niece's birthday is coming up, so we're actually going to take them to see life.
Yeah.
So I feel like that makes me feel a lot better because we're going to do something really good. Obviously we haven't done much during the holidays, but just having that 2-for-1 ticket means like his dad can come as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that helps a lot.
And it means that when they go back to school, it's something you can say, oh, I did this in the 6-week holidays, or I did that in the 6 weeks.
But this is what I'm trying to explain to my son already. Like, he's used to going out and doing things, whereas other people might not be used to doing that.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes he might just have to take a step back and be like, do you know what? We are just going to be at home today. There isn't anything to do. We don't have money to travel and do anything. So just make use of what you've got.
Yeah.
But it'll give him character. It'll make him grateful for what he does have when he's growing up and stuff. It gives a different sense of appreciation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, have you guys been watching the Olympics recently?
I haven't been watching it, but I've heard about what's been happening. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So like one of the things that it happened with the football as well, but we'll touch on that too, I guess. But with the Olympics, they had Shakira. So she runs 100 meters, sprinter, amazing, absolutely fast. I love her image. She's just herself, and she was disqualified. And the reason why she was disqualified was because they found marijuana in her system, because obviously they do drug tests. But usually, even though it is a drug, it's something that usually when you hear those kind of scandals, it's like, it's something that's like an enhancement to the person, as opposed to something that's like a relaxing kind
that's
of...
something that's legal in some
And that's
countries.
legal, and it's legal in loads of states in America. And then, on the flip side of that, another like Olympian, they have been using CBD products to prepare them from their sister's company. So it's just like, on one hand, because she smoked like a joint or whatever, this, that, and the third, but then she can use CBD products. It all comes from the same plant, and I just feel like, considering it's not an enhancement or an enhancing drug, I don't feel like she should have been treated that way. And I feel like it is very discriminatory when it comes to race and things in like sports and in the Olympics as well. I feel like they want the rhythm but not the blues. That's what
It's like the football. I mean, what happened in the football was just terrible. It's disgusting, because these people are meant to be fans, supporters.
Yeah.
You're there at all the matches, you're like cheering them all on, but then because you missed penalties, you're now going to resort to being racially abusive. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I actually saw a quote, and I think it said something like, if you score a goal, you're English or British, and if not, then you go back to where you come from.
That's like...
That is disgusting.
But then if they'd scored, you wouldn't be saying anything. So
exactly. That's why I said they want our rhythm but not our blues. Like, as a person of colour, as a black woman, I do feel like when you look at these kind of things, it's just like, why is it that, when everything's going good for you and it's all for your little status or your little title or your little medals or whatever it is, like it's just football. But like when it's for the good of the country or whatever, then we love you. But the minute that it's something that's like not worked out, all of a sudden it's go back to where you came from. Well, we came from here.
But the thing is, I feel like racism in sports has been going on for as long as you can remember. And racism is just racism at the end of the day. It doesn't matter whether you play sports or you're in the Olympics, like it's still just as bad.
Yeah. Now with social media is out there, it's easier for these racist people to basically put out what they think, and it's not...
get away with it.
Yeah, get away with it. I mean, I know that I think 5 people got arrested from the football tweets, but I think there was thousands and thousands of abusive tweets. So really only 5. They're making an example of them, but why have they not gone after all the other people? They're saying it's because they've made fake accounts and things like that, but...
They can find it really happy. What do you guys think? Like, what are your thoughts on both things? Because obviously we're over here and we've experienced or seen more close up the racism in football because it was like all based around the Euro Cup and stuff. But then also with Shakira Richardson as well, and the way that she's been kind of discriminated against based on, like, I know it's not the best decision choice, but what do you guys think?
Well, Nicole, do you want to go first?
Yeah, that's fine. So with regards to the athlete, I do, like, obviously I do believe that there's probably some sort of racist injustice in that as well. However, I think that they would have had to make an example of her because it is cannabis, and if they didn't, it wouldn't. I think it would still need to be made an example of, because it's still drugs no matter what. And I totally understand that some people use it like for relaxation or medical purposes, but I think condoning it would have sort of made people argue a lot more about whether we are condoning drugs or not condoning drugs.
Yeah, but I feel like they should.
However,
like,
I don't think that takes.
I feel like they should look at it again there, because obviously there's new laws now that like allow in certain states for them to smoke weed. So then obviously when it comes to like sporting events, when it's just like across the pond now, Like, obviously they have different laws, but like when she was doing it, it was legal. Do you know what I mean? So,
but also, like I said
Yeah.
before, my issue with it is that another person that is in the Olympics has been using CBD products, and it all comes from the cannabis plant. So it's just like, why is it so why is it that it's okay for one but not the other? Just because she had the THC and she had the CBD and all the technicality, then just squash the whole thing and then make it that nobody can use it then, or make it that it's like, do you know what, it's legal in a lot of states, just let it be. Do you know what, it's not a, this is the thing, it's not like it's like steroids or anything that's enhancing them to actually make them run faster. Weed is something that actually slows people down.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The stereotype is it makes people lazy. So, really and truly, that she shouldn't. Yeah.
She's obviously smoked it for a reason.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if you saw when she did, I think it was her qualifying race or whatever, literally a week before, not to say it's an excuse, but her mum died like a week before. Yeah, so she could have been like kicking it with whoever and be just like smoking and chilling off, because obviously she's going through a hard time. And like me, I don't discriminate people that if they want to smoke cannabis, marijuana, weed, ganja, whatever you want to call it. I don't discriminate. I grew up in a household with like Rastafarians, and like my household, my family is very diverse. So for me, it's like I don't discriminate against like those kind of things anyway. But I just feel like in this circumstance, she's being treated one way, they're being treated another.
Yeah, because I'm sure like if you did a drug test, it will probably come up the same way. And like when you've tested for the drugs, it's weed. It's all weed. So how does the CB come up differently, or does it come up differently in the system on the test or something, or like what? Like I need to know this. Like
I didn't think about that at all. But I didn't think about that.
THC, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like it would still be like cannabis, no?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was so excited this year to watch the football at the England matches, especially after they won and whatever else. And then I think after the game with the penalties, I just said to myself, do you know what? I'm not even watching football no more. Like I was so disappointed in the reaction of the fans and everything that went on, and then the after reaction for the following few days, all the racist comments and everything. And I'm going to be honest, it actually made me think to myself, well, do you know what? For the fans, you lot didn't even deserve to win in any case. If that's how you're going to react, like you didn't even deserve to win. Maya, what did you think?
Yeah, I don't really watch football, to be honest, but yeah, everyone heard about how people were reacting in the news. Like you don't have to watch it to know about what was going on. Do you know what I mean? But I saw this article something about with Australia. The headline was something about the three black players lost a penalty. Like they put their race like right in the beginning, like saying that they were black was important to the reason why that they lost the penalties of the shootout. Like so, even like in the way they like treat black players in the news and all that kind of stuff as well, it's just different. Like
it's propaganda is real. I feel like I'm glad. The thing is, I did all my GCSEs and passed everyone but history. But history was the most useful in terms of learning about, because you cover kind of like politics and stuff as well. And I feel like they teach you about propaganda and stuff like that. And I feel like the propaganda is mad, and it shows like that. It kind of shows like how racism is used in many different ways as well. I genuinely felt scared for, you know, family members and stuff like that might have been out watching the football that night, because people were also being attacked.
Yeah, I heard about that.
People were thrown into the Thames apparently. Like people were beaten up. You've seen videos of a boy like bloodied up, like scratches and like things on his face, gashes on his face. Like people were being attacked for the fact that these 3 young black players missed these penalties. And the thing is, that's when they decided to bring them in. I swear it's like that's when they decided to bring them into the match or something as well.
I don't understand. Sorry.
And they're exceptional players, you know.
They're
want to
young
qualify
players.
players.
They're young players. That's what they should have focused on. They should never have put them in that situation to do penalties when they're that young.
Yeah, when you're in the spotlight and you're a person of colour, especially, like it's expected for you to be treated a certain way if something doesn't happen. It happens in everything. It happens in the workplace, not just in sports. It's in the workplace. You get people like gaslight you and stuff like that. The thing is, they'll create the issue in the first place, and then they'll gaslight you when you're like now bringing it up, like you're not a human being, like you can't have a grievance or whatever it might be. Then they'll gaslight you in the workplace. Oh, angry black woman, aggressive black man. Do you know what I'm saying? So for these players to expect hate against them, because of like if they miss these penalties or whatever, like that, I think that's why they were able to react the way that they did, and I think that they've been really graceful about it. I think one of the players, I can't remember his name, I think he was the youngest one, Saka, I think that they did this whole thing when he went back to his home team, and like all the fans and stuff had written like loads, like thousands of like messages and stuff for him, and they like put it on this
I
wall.
saw that, it's in Manchester.
I saw it on Instagram, and it was just so
nice.
sweet, because I just felt like, do you know what, as much as these things are going on, there is good in the world.
There's also a lot of people that
there are people that still support regardless.
And not only that, like people like, is it Rashford as well, Marcus, like look at what he's done for communities and stuff like that, like the children's meals and stuff like that. That wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So how people can treat them like that is just...
I want to know how many people that wanted to have their little racist comments and then benefited from what
from his service,
Marcus Rashford, I think there was like a mural or something of his face or something, because of what he's been doing. And then since the match, that's what they've been...
Like people have been going and cleaning the wall and stuff like that as well to get it away.
I think that showed like a different side to the community as well. I think that was like really, really nice. Like to see everyone out there like supporting and saying like, look, we're not going to stand up for this. Like we're not going to let people be racist to anyone. I thought that was really nice.
I think so too. I think that sometimes these things kind of have to happen for you to see the good in other people as well. Like it's unfortunate that we experience it and that it's everywhere, but sometimes it's like you see there's always a guardian angel or something that comes out of it that like you're like, you know what, that happened, but these people enabled it, that I wouldn't be broken from this situation because there are still also good people, and without evil there is no good. Like it's everything, there's dark and light, there's good and bad. That's it, innit? I guess it's unfortunate, but I think that there definitely needs to be like more consequences when it comes to those kind of circumstances, and people need to be made more of an example.
The thing is though, I think I have seen online, like it may not be recent, but there was I believe it was a Spanish football manager. This was years ago. I think he was racist towards Thierry Henry, but the thing is, he only got fined.
But another thing that is also that also relates to this is like, you know, like online, and a lot of these people have gotten away with saying certain things like tweets and certain things, putting certain things on Instagram, racisms and stuff like that. But then somebody could be putting something really informative up, and there's a lot of like censorship on Instagram, a lot of like shadow banning and all of that kind of thing as well. Like, have you guys ever seen that where like they always say it's the algorithm or whatever?
Algorithm,
I think it's foolishness, but obviously I don't work behind those kind of things.
With like social media, no one really knows their rights, do they? They don't make, like, you tick a terms and conditions, but no one really understands, like, for example, if you're getting abused online, what to do. Like, do you phone the police? Are they going to tell you that it's a minor, you should go to Facebook, or you go to them, you write them a message, you do you hear back or don't you hear back? Does that person get blocked? Does that person's account get deleted? You don't really know. There's no procedure in place, I don't think, for people.
Let's put it this way. There was well-known rapper, he's the godfather of grime, Wiley, and he basically put out there, you know, that well, he's kind of known for like just saying wild things anyway, but he must have put out there you know, some comments about people of like the Jewish community, and I don't think he was saying anything specifically like out of order per se. I think he was just saying that like a lot of people in the Jewish community are in power, and a lot of these, and he was saying that like a lot of like record executives, they like run things basically, and they're Jewish. Do you know what I'm saying? Like obviously I don't know word for word what he said or how it came across, but I know that he said it, and I know that since then he's been blocked off of all of his like social medias. A lot of things to do with his music were banned. like, and yet people like say Donald Trump will turn around and say the most madness.
Yeah,
and be able to like keep their accounts and stuff.
Deleted, didn't it? He was saying a lot before they deleted.
Yeah.
I think they didn't delete it because he was president or something like that. Like I don't think they were allowing them to, because obviously that's who he was. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like I just feel like they get, like, a lot of people get away with stuff, like, especially when you're a person in power as well. Like you get away with a lot of stuff. I feel like people will put things, especially with COVID and stuff as well. I don't know if you've seen, like, people will put up videos and stuff like that in terms of how people might have reacted to set, like, the vaccine, or how they might have even, and it gets taken down, or you get the NHS thing, like, oh, this is not facts and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's that person's experience. And the minute that you put that up there, you're disregarding that person's experience because you're saying, oh, it's not facts, and to look on the NHS website. Well, my experience is more valid than what I read on the internet because it's an experience, and that's how you get the research from things anyway, is from something happening. Do you get it? Yeah. So I feel like that's something that's actually being like overlooked when it comes to like social media and things being like shadow banned and things being like censored, I guess, as well. What kind of other things have you guys like seen that might have been censored, or do you know of any cases where like somebody's been shadow banned from like Instagram or Twitter?
But I see like a lot of videos, they do tell you that this may be sensitive, or so I feel like for the younger people on social media nowadays, that censorship is good because it blocks that unhealthy information that they might not necessarily need to see. Yeah, if it is,
I understand that completely. But then that's for your parents to be also.
But then, but then that's down to your parents.
Like, what are you doing on Instagram if you're under a certain age? Anyway, like, do you know what? Something that I think that should actually, something that I appreciate having censorship is, ever since, especially because this is something that never used to be shown before, is like things like when George Floyd was killed, and I feel like it was all over the internet for everyone to see. And I literally feel like over the past year and a half, there's a lot of people, not even just people of colour, but a lot of people that just care and that have a heart, are walking around with PTSD because every time you go on social media, you're seeing somebody being, you're seeing police brutality. You're seeing somebody being killed by the police. I've seen it loads of times, somebody being killed by the police. You're literally viewing a lynching. It's not a conventional lynching, it's a contemporary lynching, but you're viewing a contemporary lynching, and it's just there on the internet. But what I like is that on Instagram, it will say, viewers discretion, this might have this, and it's like blurred out like really good, so that when you do click on it, you know what you're getting yourself into. So censorship in that kind of case is good, because for me, I got to a point where I was like, I'm not going to be watching these videos anymore. I'm not trying to watch these videos anymore because it's too heartbreaking. Every time I go on the internet, that's what I see. I want to see positivity. I want to see my people winning. I want to see people in general winning. I don't want to keep seeing like all of that. So the fact that it gives you the choice in terms of that and censorship with regards to that, I think is good.
Yeah, 100%.
So do you guys think that with regards to social media accounts and stuff like that, do you guys think that there should be more like a more intense way of building an account, such as using IDs, stuff like that? So when someone signs up, they need to need to use like driving license, passport, so then everyone will sort of know.
Because then you can't lie about your age.
It should be. It should be across a lot of like social media and stuff like that. It should be like, you know, certain things when you're doing the verification, like even on like dating sites and stuff, it will be like, take a picture holding your face like this and hold your passport, and you got to hold the passport and you got to copy the picture, and the person's like, I think we should have to do that. We're like, so that God forbid, like if you slip up, somebody's coming for you. Because what also happens as well is when people do put foolishness on the internet and whatever, is that there are people that they then become successful in life, and then it comes and bites them in the backside when it creeps up. There's people that we all know and love, like Maya Jama. Obviously, she was going out with Stormzy. She's hilarious. She's like such a pretty girl, but then you see her and she's just all banter and stuff when you see her like on TV and that. But there was a bunch of tweets that came up from her regarding like colorism and stuff, because she is a lighter skinned, like East African girl, and then she said all of these things regarding like dark skinned girls and this that, and the third. And obviously that's not how she might feel now, but at the time you was feeling that way because you put it up, and it came and crept up. So and then she had to, it's happened to loads of people, and she had to be held accountable. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's that it happened later on. I think that when it happens on the actual, when you actually post it, whoever runs that, like Twitter or whoever runs Facebook or whatever, they need to get on it straight away and be like, yo, red alert.
Yeah, and then people won't be able to do fake accounts and stuff, because obviously you have your ID on there, so you have to like, your information has to be attached to it. So then obviously with the stuff with the other thing where they couldn't find the people, now they can find you and be like, yo, you can't be putting that stuff on the internet, because literally you'll be putting your details in there. I feel like people will be less confident to put like hide behind fake accounts and put rubbish on there,
because you can still keep your ID private and stuff, but they know, like the powers that be, like whoever runs it knows who you are. Got your passport number every day.
There you go. So I'm just going to brush your hair out.
It is quite nice, like the colour like blends really well as well, because you can see like she's got like a kind of like a dip dye, so it goes really nice at the end.
Someone actually told me the other day, they asked me if I dip dyed my hair.
Oh, it was nice talking to you guys. I think that we'll definitely talk again. Oh, I'll see you guys again soon.